Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Quentin Smith. It's been a violent year here in the state of Mississippi. This past weekend, there were a total of 8 homicides. That now brings the total to 83 killings so far this year. And as Courtney Ann Jackson explains, that's on pace with last year's record-breaking numbers.
Every homicide case in the state will eventually pass through these doors. And with the upped numbers, you might expect there's a large staff waiting to process the evidence and perform autopsies. But
hired a new medical examiner about 2 weeks ago, and then one of the ones that we did have, his last day was Thursday, so they're gone, so we're back to 2 doctors. Staffing at the laboratory is probably as low as it's been in a number of years.
The staffing and resources have been an ongoing problem at the state crime lab and medical examiner's office, but 2018 put an even bigger spotlight on the gaps.
Received more cases than any other previous year. Last year total, all types of cases, 11,000 drug cases, almost 420 homicides.
The issue now, 2019 is on track to at least keep pace with those record-breaking numbers.
Certainly testing our abilities, and you know, right now we're really not keeping up, if you would like to say that, just because we are not staffed to handle, you know, what we're getting in.
There's a domino effect that's created with delayed justice in some cases.
Not only are the prosecutors getting frustrated, law enforcement gets frustrated. We can't meet their demands, their court demands, their investigative demands. And then obviously in some cases you're dealing with families, and we get those calls as well.
The legislature has boosted the pay for pathologists, but recruitment is still an issue due to the larger than normal caseload those prospective employees are being asked to take on. Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Now, one of those recent homicide cases is from Monroe County. And tonight, the wife of a missing man sits behind bars in the Monroe County Jail accused of murder. Our Jory Talley has more.
45-year-old Ellen Hubner is being charged with murder. The charge comes after a body was discovered on Friday outside of this home she shared with her missing husband, Stephen Hubner. Monroe County Sheriff Cecil Cantrell believes the body is the missing husband, but Coroner Alan Gurley is waiting on the official results from an autopsy before confirming an identity.
We do have statements from friends of hers that she told that she did do this violent act.
Cantrell says those statements, plus other things, helped them develop the case.
Through her friends and different people is the way that we kindly piece this together. And it's just been a lot of people, a lot of good investigation has went on, and as quick as this has happened to put this case together.
This case has gone from missing person to murder in just under a week.
Investigators from the Columbus Air Force Base contacted us, and like late Tuesday, we went out and actually did just a walk through the house just to see if we could find Mr. Hubner. And of course, Ms. Hubner was there, and of course, she didn't really know anything.
Cantrell says investigators went back out to the couple's home on Wednesday.
There's a canal section behind the house. We even got the Monroe County Search and Rescue team that does a great job, by the way, a great job. Brought some divers in, and we checked that whole canal down there, but we didn't find anything.
Suspicion is one thing the sheriff says they did find while they were at the home. Cantrell says the wife was at the house both days investigators were out there searching for her missing husband. However, when they returned Friday, she was nowhere to be found until Monday morning when she turned herself into the sheriff's department.
She did some things that were out of the ordinary that we noticed, and made some statements that were kind of out of the ordinary. And we kind of followed up on some things, and by being persistent, this is the reason that this came to where it is today.
That was our Jory Talley reporting there. Now, Cantrell says he's not sure if any more arrests will be made. Hubner's bond was set at $150,000. Mississippi's auditor is ordering Town Creek Master Water District Board of Commissioners to pay over $500,000. The investigation first began over a year ago when a resident raised concerns about where the money he was spending on property taxes was going. Auditor Shad White says the board can pay themselves up to $12.50 per meeting. However, the investigation shows board members were paying themselves $600 per meeting. Now, the amount that each person has pocketed ranges from $11,000 to more than $100,000. Board members now have 30 days to act on these demands and pay the amount before the case gets turned over to the Attorney General's office.
For odd, obscure boards like this, their routine audits are not going to be good at catching some things like this. The main way we catch folks who have stolen money or who have misspent money is through whistleblowers. People who see something that doesn't quite make sense, or they see a colleague who seems to be living at a lifestyle above what they should be. They come and they report it to us, or they report it to their supervisor, and their supervisor reports it to us, and then we start an investigation.
Now, the Water District was created to improve water and drainage issues in Lee, Union, Pontotoc, and Prentiss counties. It's the only such board in the state. Well, it is now time to turn our attention over to weather. Meteorologist Jacob Dickey is standing by with a first look at our forecast. Jacob?
Hey, Quentin, it is cold out there and it's been cold through much of the day. Right now, temperatures are in the low 30s and upper 20s. We're seeing some with clear sky. Oxford reporting a clear sky. The airbase also with some clouds in other spots. Winona looking mostly cloudy right now at the airport at Golden Triangle Airport there, 31 and partly cloudy. As we look at radar here, some rain is off to our south. There's a few snow showers off to our north and the west. I think we stay dry and cold. Coming up, we'll talk about how long we stay cold when spring is back, and we've got some strong storms in the forecast. That and more coming up in just a bit.
Thanks, Jacob. The recent floodwaters are continuing to cause problems along the Tin Tom Waterway. A sandbar below the Aberdeen Locking Dam is bringing river traffic to a halt. And as our Stephanie Poole reports, that's causing headaches both on land and on water.
Over 6 days, the Tennessee Tombigbee Waterway has been closed. Water went over the Locking Dam walls, leaving a sandbar behind. Operations Manager Justin Murphy says it could be a while before you see barges going downriver again.
Around Aberdeen, we have a significant shoaling area up there, a sandbar that makes it impassable to barge traffic.
It could take several weeks before a dredge channel is opened.
It brought in a lot of sediment. It affected some of the recreation areas by depositing sediment on them, and it also stopped barge traffic in this area around Columbus for about a week. But we also have significant shoaling on the north end of the project here, and it's stopped barge traffic completely up there.
Businesses along the waterway are losing money every day the locks are shut.
The towing companies are affected, the shippers are affected, the local businesses in this area are affected because they can't get their shipments.
Grain and rocks move down the Tin Tom, but the businesses that sell them sit and wait. Logistics Services Incorporated Port Manager Eddie Rushing says preparing sales for springtime is something he'll be observing closely since the closing of the waterway.
We have rock that comes in, limestone that comes in from up north. Fixing to be springtime and a busy time for rock coming in for us to sell, and our tonnages are definitely going to be hurt because of it. The 6 days that we lost from not being able to operate, that's about 10 barges that we didn't get to load or unload in that period. So yes, we are definitely affected by the revenue side of it as well.
An emergency dredge channel is in the works, but it could take about 6 weeks to complete.
That was our Stephanie Poole reporting there. Now, the Tin Tom Waterway Development Authority held a conference call earlier today with area businesses about plans to fix these sandbars.
Well, we are well into our third or fourth winter, perhaps. Temperatures tonight, low 20s, wind chills in the teens. Coming up, I'll tell you when this cold air leaves, when spring is back, and we'll talk about some showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. Stay with us.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
It's been cloudy through much of the day. We did sneak sunshine in for some of us, but other of us really felt the winter blues with those temperatures staying in the 30s all day long. Right now in Columbus, it's 30 out there. We've got a north wind at 11 miles an hour. That is bringing those wind chill values down a good 5 to 10 degrees. Very much cold out there. 30 in Columbus, 29 in Amory. Tupelo is at 27, down to 25 in Grenada and in Oxford. It's 32 right now in Macon, but when you factor in those north winds between 5 and 15 miles an hour, The wind chill is what it actually feels like out there. And it actually feels like 21 in Columbus, 21 in Amory, 18 in Tupelo, 16 in Corinth. Very cold air, very chilly out there through the night, and that will continue. Now, radar through the day has been quiet, but we did sneak out a few isolated flurries there. The moisture is just so shallow that it doesn't pick up very well. This came to us from Jerry Green over in West Point. He had a couple flakes falling on the screen there, and many of you also reported to us sharing on Facebook and on Twitter that you saw some flakes in your neighborhood. The tonight temperatures are dropping into the 20s. I've got 21 in Columbus, 24 in Starkville, 20 in Pontotoc, down to 19 in Oxford. Tomorrow morning, when we wake up, those wind chill values will be in the teens area-wide. I've got a wind chill of 16 in Columbus out the door Tuesday morning, 13 in Pontotoc, 11 in Tupelo. This winter air is sticking around. I do think good, though, by Tuesday during the day tomorrow, sunshine does come back for a good majority of us. Temperatures will only climb into the 40s for many of us out there. We keep those northwest winds between 5 and 15 miles an hour. I've got 43 in Macon, 44 in DeKalb, Ackerman at 41. We'll be at 40 in Winona on the day on Tuesday. West Alabama, low 40s there, 43 in Vernon, 44 Reform, Sologent, also at 43. And then in North Mississippi, low 40s, even a few upper 30s, 39 in Pontotoc and New Albany, 40 in Tupelo for our Tuesday afternoon highs. As we look ahead here, this high pressure finally slides off to the east by Thursday. That means that warm air comes back. We get a little more spring feel. That'll feel very nice here. But just that winter temperatures for a couple of more days here. Southerly winds return on Thursday, and we're back to average by Friday. As we watch towards the weekend, then we get a 1-2 punch here. Some showers expected on Friday. A weak system slides on through. The bigger one of the systems comes in on the day Saturday here, and it's a rather classic looking system. I think we got the chance for some thunderstorms. Will not rule out some strong storms. A little far to determine exactly what's going to materialize this weekend, so make sure you stay up with the forecast. In the meantime, we got some sunshine coming in the next few days. We'll be staying cold through Thursday.
It's playoff time in high school basketball. Tom takes a look at how some of our local hoopers are doing, coming up a little later in sports. Welcome back. There's been a great deal of research to back the health claims of breastfeeding, but in some areas, it still faces resistance. In tonight's Health Talk with Baptist, we look at how the BMH is helping mothers and babies form this healthy bond.
Hi, I'm Susan Spencer, Director of Women's Services at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. I'm delighted to report that we have received the designation right here in the Golden Triangle as a baby-friendly hospital. Why is this so important? Baby-friendly facilities recognize that breastfeeding is the normal as well as optimal infant nutrition and have policies in place that support this and mother-baby bonding. Facility policies and protocols are followed by staff. They ensure that all mothers receive education about the many benefits of breastfeeding and that mothers make an informed choice about the way they will feed their infants. Staff can address concerns about breastfeeding and explore health consequences of infant formula. After she has received information tailored to her needs, the mother's final choice in feeding of her infant is hers. All mothers are special, and every baby born at Baptist Hospital is special, regardless of how it is being fed. Every mother and baby receive the same high-quality care. In order to achieve baby-friendly status, the staff members at Baptist Hospital received more than 20 hours of education to be able to assist you at your bedside with breastfeeding your infant. We have learned the hands-on skills needed to get you off to the best start. At the same time, we know and teach the proper methods of formula preparation to ensure that you are given the latest information regarding safe formula preparation and storage. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist, when we discuss how we get mother-infant bonding and breastfeeding off to the best possible start.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
Area teams battle it out, one win away from a state championship appearance. Full coverage from the state semifinals in Jackson, next in sports.
BI Sports with Tom Ebel.
The high school basketball Final Four beginning in Jackson. Teams looking to punch their tickets to a state championship game. The girls 4A semifinals is where we start. Moss Point taking on Ripley. First quarter for Moss Point. Brianna Miller gets the ball down low off the inbound pass. So they have the early lead, but here comes Ripley. Sydney Flake misses, but Sierra Jackson there to clean up the mess. That puts Ripley back on top. Nearing the end of the first, Ripley's ball, Amelia Hatch kicks out to Summer Kirkman. She'll take all three of those. Ooh, tickles the twine with the three. Then in the second quarter, Hatch in transition. Filthy crossover in on the break. Battles through the contact, gets the two to go. And then later in the second, Jackson going to work. The entry pass, watch the seal down low. Keep the defender on the backside. That's the way you do it. Ripley hits clutch free throws late. They get the W over Moss Point, 45-39. So who will Ripley face? Will it be Lanier or will it be Louisville? First quarter Wildcats on the break. Ariana Hunter to Kirsten Ball. She does the rest down low. That's where you gather yourself. Strong take, Cats up by 4. Lanier would respond. Kashana Luckett, ISO pull-up from way downtown. Gets the 3 ball to rattle. That cuts into Louisville's lead. But later in the first, Cam Rogers to Hunter. Finds her way to the paint. Floater with a hand in her face, doesn't matter. Cats go up by 9. After Lanier makes a run, Louisville responds. Who else but Hunter? Wing triple is cash money. Cats hang on in the second half. They'll face Ripley for the gold ball. They get the W 46-42. In case you missed it earlier, the morning games, Pine Grove taking on Lee County. The Lady Panthers trying to get to a 3rd straight state championship. Lauren Elliott looking to make that happen. Gets the bucket to go for 2. And in the first, Bella Jumper to Taylor Fletcher. Drives baseline. Floater from the short corner goes. It'd be an 8-1 run to start the game for Pine Grove. And then get it to Jumper. Hits the jumper, takes all 3 of those. Pine Grove advances. They win 42-35. They go for their 3rd straight state title on Thursday. Taking on Pine Grove, it'd be either Hamilton or Simmons in a 1A semifinal. First quarter, Jalea Gaddison, coast to coast, finger roll through the land of the Giants. Simmons starts the game on an 8-2 run, but Hamilton responds. Deidre Keaton to Icy Cockrum. Great ball movement. Tyra Werner in the corner for 3. Lady Lions cut into the Simmons lead. Second quarter, Cochran in transition. She's going to find Werner floated up there. She'll catch it and finish it. Hamilton makes it a 1-possession game. Later in the second, Lady Lions down 10. Tori Harrison knocks down the wing triple. Hamilton would cut it to a 5-point ball game in the 4th, but Simmons hangs on for the win, 43-33. Lady Lions finish the season 23-3. 2 area teams facing off. Highly anticipated 1A boys matchup. West Lowndes taking on Okolona. Jalen Brewer, a man amongst boys early on, takes the contact and 1 bucket. Panthers up by 4. Then in the second quarter, Brewer again. Look at the filthy behind the back. Takes the contact. Grown man take right there, my goodness. But now we interrupt your regularly scheduled program for the Jacoria Stanfield Show. The man will go on a 7-0 run all by himself. Absolute, like the man has a badge in 2K. He finishes in the paint at will. One more time, Stanfield on the break, takes the contact and 1. He'd finish with 30+ in this one. Okolona set to defend their crown. They defeat West Lowndes 65-55. And who will they face? East Marion taking on Potsdam. Hope you're ready for these highlights. It was a dunk-a-thon. Early on the fast break, Caleb Rawls clear the runway, 2-hand jam for the big man. Eagles up by 10. The Cardinals turn. Kylan Connors, he's going to find Martavius Frost baseline. 2-hand flush. Get up there, young man. But East Marion advances to take on Okolona. They get the W 80-66. So coming up tomorrow down in Jackson, the 2A, that's where we have WCBI teams. Calhoun City taking on West Lincoln at 9 a.m. Ingomar boys taking on North Forest at noon. We'll have highlights of those games coming up tomorrow. And just a quick look at the state championship matchups for Thursday for 1A and 4A. We'll have more of that information on our website, WCBI.com. We'll have a last-minute forecast.
Winter temperatures, we should be in the low to mid 60s this time of year. Good 20 degrees below average on Tuesday. Even on Wednesday, lows are in the low 20s and upper teens. Those wind chill values in the teens Maybe if you're up by the Tennessee border in the morning, you might sneak a wind chill value in the single digits, but for most of us, it's just cold. It's a certain point where it gets cold, spring is back by Friday.
So no warm temperatures this week.
Not for a while.
That's unfortunate. Have a good night, everyone.